So you're thinking about starting a business. It can feel, well, pretty overwhelming, right? But what if you had a clear, simple roadmap, one built from the real-world experiences of successful entrepreneurs? In this explainer, we're going to break down all the essential steps, from that first spark of an idea all the way to your grand opening.
You know, we all hear the amazing success stories, the tiny startup that becomes a huge sensation. But behind every one of those stories, there's a much tougher reality. The truth is, most new businesses don't make it. So the real question isn't if they fail, it's why.
Yeah, let that number really sink in for a second. 90%. 9 out of every 10 businesses that start up will fail. Now that sounds pretty scary, I know, but understanding why that happens is the very first step to making sure your business ends up in the successful 10%.
And you might be surprised by the answer. The number one reason for this massive failure rate? It isn't a bad product, and it's not a lack of passion. It's because most people skip one single, absolutely critical step right at the very beginning. And that's exactly the mistake we're going to help you avoid.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to build a really strong foundation, taking you from that initial idea to actually getting your operations running. Then, we'll tackle the dreaded paperwork. After that, we'll get into how you can unlock your first business loan. And finally, and this is a big one, we'll cover the common rookie mistakes that you absolutely want to avoid.
All right, let's dive into part 1, from idea to operations. Seriously, this is the foundation for everything that comes next. Get this right, and you're already ahead of the game.
This whole first phase really just boils down to 3 simple, manageable steps. First, you've got to validate your idea. Second, you need to choose the right legal structure. And third, it's time to set up your basic operations.
Now this is the step that most people skip, and honestly, it's fatal. Before you spend a single rupee or a single minute on anything else, you have to find out if people actually want to buy what you're selling. And it doesn't have to be some huge, complicated thing. A simple survey sent to 50 friends on WhatsApp can be incredibly revealing. Is there a real demand for this? Who are my competitors? Answering these questions first isn't just a good idea, it is completely non-negotiable.
And hey, proving your idea works doesn't have to break the bank. Just look at these examples. A food cart. You could probably get that going for around 1 lakh rupees, just to test the waters. An online store? You can launch one for under 20,000. And something like a tuition service? You could literally bootstrap that for next to nothing.
Okay, next up is your legal structure. A sole proprietorship is definitely the easiest way to start. You can do it from home, no big fuss. But, and this is a huge but, there's no legal firewall between you and the business. That means your personal assets are on the line. An LLP or a private limited company, on the other hand, creates that protective shield. It's also way better if you have partners. So, the common wisdom here, start simple as a sole proprietor, and then you can always upgrade once your business starts to grow.
All right, on to part 2, navigating the paperwork. I know, this is the part that often intimidates people, but we're going to break it down with a super simple checklist. No need to stress.
Let's just walk through this. For your personal ID, you'll need your PAN card, Aadhaar, passport, the usual stuff. To prove where your business is, a simple rent agreement and a recent electricity bill will do. Now, this next part is really important. You'll need a dedicated business current account, not your personal savings account. You've got to keep those finances separate. And hey, don't worry about GST registration right away. That's only mandatory once your turnover crosses that 20 lakh rupee mark.
And you know, the good news is this whole process is way easier than it used to be. You can actually register online for free with UDM or MSME. And even if you want to form a private limited company, it can be done in about a week, mostly just by scanning and uploading the right documents.
Part 3, unlocking your first loan. Okay, you've got the paperwork done. Now, you might need a little capital to really get things growing. Let's talk about how to get that crucial first business loan.
A fantastic starting point in India is the Mudra Yojana scheme. It's designed to provide loans up to 10 lakh rupees specifically for small businesses. And the best part? It often doesn't require any collateral, which for a new entrepreneur is an absolute game changer. So, what do lenders really look for? Well, they want to see some proof of stability. That usually means about a year of business history, or at the very least, a super convincing plan. Your CIBIL score, which is basically your financial report card, needs to be solid, over 700. And you'll probably need to show an annual turnover of at least 5 lakh rupees to even be considered.
The loan document checklist is also pretty straightforward. Your KYC docs just prove who you are.
6 months of bank statements show your cash flow. That money's coming in and out. 2 years of tax returns show your financial history, and your business license proves you're a real, legitimate operation. And finally, depending on the loan, you might need proof of property.
In terms of what you can expect, loan amounts can range anywhere from 1 lakh all the way up to 50 lakh rupees. And you can expect interest rates somewhere between 8% and 15%. It's pretty simple. The healthier your business looks on paper, the lower the rate you're going to get.
Okay, we're on to our final section, avoiding rookie mistakes. You know, knowing all the right steps is only half the battle. Knowing the traps to avoid, well, that can be the real difference between success and failure.
Okay, first up, mismanaging cash flow. That's the lifeblood of your business. Second, choosing a structure that puts your personal home and savings at risk. Third, and this one is huge, failing to market your business from day one. I mean, no one's going to buy from you if they don't even know you exist. And finally, skipping basic insurance, which can turn a tiny hiccup into a total disaster.
So here's a really practical tip to help you with that first mistake. Whatever you think your budget is, just add an extra 20% right on top. This is for compliance, taxes, and all those little unforeseen costs that always pop up. Think of it as your cash flow safety net. It can really save you in those crucial early days.
So, there you have it, a step-by-step guide to get your business started, get it funded, and avoid the most common pitfalls that trip people up. The roadmap is now in your hands. The only question left is, will you use it to become part of that 10% that succeeds?